All right, so Instagram is live. Welcome. Facebook is up and running. Here we go. And let's get started. So, this week we read the portion of Bahaloscha, the weekly port in the Torah, in the weekly portion. And in the portion of Bahaloscha, we speak about the different items that were in the temple and tabernacle in the desert, in the Mishkan. And one of them is the menorah. So the menorah was built totally out of gold and was a little different than the menorah that we use today. A menorah you would see now, the one we use for Hanukkah, is going to have 8 branches plus the shamish, so a 9th branch. The menorah in the Mishkan had 7 branches total, so 3 on each side, and one that came up from the bottom to the middle, all at the same level. So 7 branches total, all the same level as opposed to the ones we have now, which have 8 at the same level and a 9th one that would be a little bit higher. Now, one of the major services that the high priest would do in the tabernacle and then in the temple would be to light the menorah. So when the Torah tells the Kohen what to do, it uses a very strange set of words. It says, when you will raise up the lamps. So it's just like a weird way of saying it. Why wouldn't it just say something simple like, when you light the lamps? What's the words raising up? What does that have to do with anything, and why is it important? So Rashi explains that each of the lights would have to be coaxed and handled and basically just to be coaxed and lit until finally it would light and ignite properly and shine the way it was supposed to. Welcome, Michael, Delaware. Very good. Nice to see you on here. The Alter Rebbe explains, the Alter Rebbe was the first Chabad Rebbe, explains that each of these 7 branches on the menorah correspond to the 7 characteristic traits that we all have: kindness, strength, compassion, beauty, victory, splendor, foundation, and kingship. The Rebbe points out that there has to be something we can learn from these 7 paths which correspond to the 7 branches of the menorah. So just like there are 7 basic character traits, that means there has to be several different valid ways of serving God. We don't have to be just like someone else. Our characteristics can be a little different. We don't have to copy other people. Not everybody is created the same. Not everybody looks the same. Not everybody feels the same. Not everybody acts the same. The main point is that we all are a candle. We're all a light. And we all shine to our neighbors with kindness, with strength, with all of our characteristics, with compassion, with beauty and victory and splendor, with all of our talents, all of our characteristics. We use those, the lights of the menorah, we take those lights and we shine that outward. The Torah teaches, by the fact that the menorah didn't just have 1 branch, but 7 branches, that there's no one way to do anything. Everyone has their own personality, and everyone has a valid way of serving God. Now, the lights of the menorah were known to shine outside of the temple, outside of the Beis Hamikdash. The windows in the temple were fashioned in such a way that the light of the menorah would shine outwards. Normally, when you build a house, you want to have a lot of natural light. So you put windows in strategic places in order to let the light come into your house. The light of the menorah would shine out because the windows in the temple were built that way for the light to go outwards. And we have to take that lesson that no matter which of the branches we are, it doesn't matter. As long as we're lit, as long as we spread that warmth and light to the people around us, to our families, our communities, our friends, and each stand up as a shining light and spread warmth and godliness and kindness to each other and to those around us. And that's really what it's all about. So, with that, we'll make a little l'chaim. Today we have Jim Beam White Label. Tomorrow, I know you've had this already. We're gonna do a review of it here. Let's take a little pour. All right, so this is Jim Beam White Label. This is the most sold bourbon in the world. It's 80 proof. It's a 4-year-old bourbon. It's 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% barley. So we'll take a look first. It's got a nice yellowish, light, maybe a little gold color in there. Give it a nice nose. It's getting sweet, maybe some light fruit. Going for the taste. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehakol niyeh b'dvaro. Getting some caramel, a little vanilla. Maybe a little honey even. Kind of sweetness with like a caramel. And the finish coming down kind of loses that. Changes to spice. Still has a sweetness. Doesn't have much of that caramel or vanilla coming down. All right, you got the caramel. Very nice. All right, well, l'chaim, enjoy. Stay warm and spread the warmth and the light to all those around you. L'chaim.